Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Meng, and it comes in 1/72 scale. So here we get German Panzerhaubitze 2000, it's a self-propelled howitzer, and this kit was available in a larger size from the same brand, but now we get a new tool release for fans of the smaller scale kits. And what I have here on the table, that's the final shape of the release, and this is something what was purchased with your help, with your donations, because some of you were asking to check this kit, and also you were donating to get it, so thank you. And this is something which is what can be bought in any good model shop, so that's why you will be getting exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. So the box size is not that huge. Here is comparison with my hand, and I think this box art was actually used on the larger scale release as well, but correct me if I'm wrong. And what we else have here is the paints chart here. So as you can see, it's given in AK interactive numbers, so quite easy to find. And here on the opposite side you can see also some contacts for the manufacturer. Here you can see also the marking guide for one of the marking options. I'm saying one of the because I'm not sure if there are more, but as you can see, this is the typical forest camouflage, and it might be a bit tricky to replicate on such small vehicle. But this is a side opening box, and by the way, I got this kit I think for 15 euros, in case you wonder. And as you can see, all the frames, they are sealed into one plastic bag, so I'm going to open them right now, and we will check everything together. So just give me a second. In the meantime, I can also remind you that Meng has released recently plenty of the small scale kits. So in case you are interested, you can find video reviews on the same YouTube channel, and I have to say they are quite decent. They also sold for I would say more or less accessible price. So in case you are a fan of the small scale builds, this is definitely something to check out. But today we are talking about the Panzerhaubitze, of course. So first I would like to start with this part, because here we have a lot of stuff going on. This is, as you can guess, the top hull section, and as you can see, we have a lot of pre-molded things, as I just said. So it will require some careful paintwork, because you will be able to pick out this with the pointed brush, but that's pretty much all you can do. And as you can see, the molding quality looks great. Of course you have to remove this tab, but other than that I do not see any possible issue. And the part itself, I mean, you see the size of the model, it's quite large for 1/72 scale, at least in my opinion, and I have to say that it will also require slightly different approach to the paint process. I'm just checking this sprue, because what is interesting here is how the tail lights are pre-molded here. So maybe I'll close the lenses even more so that you can see those pictures. But overall, pre-molded details and some of the panel lines, they're looking really good. So I don't think you will have any issues with this. It's just the question is how to pick this out, because in some cases it might be a bit tricky. Next we continue with the bigger sprue. This one is a frame B, and here we already get the part for the turret. So as you can see, this large section. We also get these two side panels and the floor panel for the lower hull section. This is the rear bulkhead for the turret. And if I flip over the sprue, so here inside you can see also some guiding elements, and also here you can notice that the suspension arms, they are already pre-molded, so you get the right alignment out of the box. And I think this is quite a good design, because it will save you some headache, and of course you will get a bit faster assembly process as well. Next we continue with more of the hull parts. So as you remember, we had some of the external panels to be installed separately, so here they are. And also we get the one-piece main barrel, which is looking good. And of course the one-piece part is always welcome, because even in this scale, as you can see, it takes plenty of space, and it will be the most noticeable element of the finished vehicle, so that's why it is important to have it molded just like this. Next we continue also with the sprue D. So here we have the parts for the drivetrain, and here probably I should open the lenses a bit because it's getting dark. So we have here the tracks, and those are the plastic tracks, so it's a welcome thing. And of course the road wheels are here. As far as I remember, they have the rubber section, so you won't be able to avoid the paintwork either with masks or with a pointed brush. But otherwise it is interesting that these sections, for example, they are slightly bent, so they have to be used like this for the drive sprockets. And well, I would say Meng is quite confident about the parts fitment, because usually brands are doing this as the separate track links which should be glued around the drive sprocket, but here we get such design as what you can see on the table. So probably it should work, but it's always funny to see such changes in the design in comparison with some other kits. Next, I need to open the small plastic bag with the decals. I don't know why it is sealed, why it's not a resealable one, but we get a really tiny decal sheet, and I just need to cut through it through the plastic bag, of course, not through the decal sheet. So just give me a second. I'm not sure where the decals are coming from, because usually they are not writing anything, and this one is not an exclusion from this rule. So here you can see that printing quality looks great, but of course you can replicate some of the elements with the masking. So this is more of a question to you, whether you would like to go to such things, or you are fine with applying decals, because usually Meng decals are quite okay, so I think it's enough for this size. And as for the assembly manual, this one is printed in black and white, so here we have some safety advices, and of course a reminder that this is not a toy. And now I'm trying to understand how this will work, how this assembly manual should be opening. So here you can see the parts map, for example, and also the final step of the assembly. So I guess we should go like this, because here you have some assembly tips and assembly process which starts with the lower house section. Then we flip over the page, and here we assemble the road wheels and the tracks around them. Then we continue with some elements on the rear section and also the separate hatches. Here you can see the mud guards being installed in the turret assembly. And I guess for the turret assembly you will see exactly what we were discussing, that all of these armor panels, they are molded separately, and they should be installed under this one piece section. So check also their fitment, because it should be a proper one, you shouldn't have any gaps. But I guess with this design, as you can see, we have some guiding tabs here, so it will be quite easy to align them. Also here you can see how the gun will be actually fixed in place with help of this large installation, so it should be probably positionable as well. I'm not sure if it will be movable in the final result. Let's check, because here, as you can see, it's written that you shouldn't glue it in place, so probably it should be movable. And here you can see some of the last steps. So the main barrel goes in place, and then whole turret is installed onto the hull. And here is the parts map which we saw before. So it turns out that there is only one marking option covered in this release, which is quite weird for a 1/72nd scale. I would expect at least two marking options. Obviously it's not a difficult task to find something alternative, but for Meng, I guess it's quite strange to see only one marking covered by the standard decals. But as for the whole kit, I think it looks quite nice. So in case you need this vehicle in your collection, it might be a good choice. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion. So what do you think about such release? Write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.